Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mystical Chocolate Talks. We are the Mystical Chocolate Endeavors, and this is our podcast. Ooh. Boys, how you guys doing?
Ooh. That was...
I'm doing great.
Fluid.
That was hilarious.
That was weird.
Exactly.
We forgot what we were doing. We just, I don't know. Who are you?
I forgot who I am.
Who are these people?
It was.
It's
Oh,
not
man.
who I am. It's what I am.
And that is a goddamn red-blooded American. Yeah, brother. Took our jobs. Oh my God! Have you guys seen the vaccination special yet? The South
Nope.
Park vaccination.
I need to.
Oh my
Not yet.
No.
God.
not.
Soon.
It's so good.
My TV game has been so bad.
Yeah, dude. It's worth it.
That being
It's-
said, I've worked two
yeah.
11-hour days the past 2 days.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great. All I did
Nice.
was sneak in an hour early and sneak out an hour late. It's amazing.
Explain.
Sick.
Well, instead of going in at 10, I'm like, I said to my buddy, I was like, yo, we should go in at 9. So we go in at 9, and like, our owners are like, oh yeah, you guys are doing extra work. And it's like, yeah, we are, but it just gives us extra time. You know, we can clock in. There's no one bugging us, eat our breakfast, and then we start working, get everything kind of settled. And then like at the end of the day, it's like, all right, let's just do some of that busy work that we had to put off. And so we'll stay and we won't clock out till like 8. So I'm clocked in from 9 to 8. And it's great.
Nice.
Because it's an
Nice.
extra 2 hours that doesn't feel like an extra 2 hours.
But
I used-
is it like... like, do you get paid overtime? No, right?
I'm gonna
Or
find out.
How does... Oh.
I'll find
You're
out.
gonna find out. All right.
They're going to find out too when they're like, he's got 48 hours this week. What's going on?
What the fuck? Nice.
But that's pretty good.
Little side thing. Did you get your bike rack yet that you were looking to get when I was in Texas the last time?
No, because
Oh.
the rep came in. Okay, well, first
Okay.
of all right.
Is this a personal Trevor bike rack or a store
Mhm.
bike rack?
Yeah, no, it's a me bike rack. But here has
Nice.
been the problem with getting my dream bike rack. I brought it from storage and I set it down, and I'm like, all right, this is my bike rack. I'm gonna leave it here because it's a $700 bike rack. No one's gonna buy it. I'm just gonna walk over here where I would normally put it. I'm like, I'm gonna go over here, kind of set it up, get a tag for it.
Yeah.
And then I got a little busy. An hour and a half later, it's sold.
Oh no.
What?
Oh,
So then I'm
yeah.
like, and then there's no more. So then I tried to order them, and there's none in stock. So the rep comes in. I asked the rep, I'm like, yo, how long until I can get one of these? And he's like, how does like January sound? I'm like,
Oh man.
oh.
Oh.
Jeez.
So here's the other thing. I do have another one,
Yeah.
but it's for the 1.25" hitch, and I want the 2-inch one because if I put an 1.25" on my car, then I could only carry a bike rack. But if I do 2-inch,
Okay.
then I can do more. I carry cargo.
Okay.
So then I decided on another bike rack that we have in stock, and somebody sold it, and they were like, "You
Oh.
should have put it on layaway," and I'm like, "I did." I did put it on layaway. You still sold it.
I think everybody at the store's out to get you, brother.
Ah.
Maybe it's those 11-hour days, my
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
maybe
they're like,
that's what
oh
it is.
shit,
They're like, if this
we
man
have to
wants
pay this guy overtime.
Yeah.
Nah.
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 But I'll get one.
Cool. Cool.
The future will hold.
Nice. Soon. Tyler, do you have something you'd like to promote? Sorry, I just want to make sure we put this nice and early. No, maybe.
That's right.
I
Friday
have the
night,
best coffee
T
blend.
Novak. I'm sorry,
The
at T
absolute
Novak.
best coffee blend.
All right,
Coffee
my
blend.
ass.
Oh no. Let me
no.
explain this. Friday night, T
Oh,
Novak at the Colorado on the main stage. See him fully nude. XXX. This Friday
that's
night
not-
at
that's-
T Novak at the club.
That's-
Yeah.
Well, okay. If the
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah,
if the
yeah.
alternative
Oh.
is that, or what's really going on,
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's not what's happening.
I got a little EP. Will's on it. Craig's on it. It's a nice little thing. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, no, it's out in the world. I don't know. It's kind of novel to have that experience, and I'm not I'm not entirely sick of it at this point in time, so that's kind of fun.
Excellent,
So,
excellent.
yeah, grad school's wrapping up. Who the hell knows what's going on? But
Well,
that's out there, so give it a listen on anything.
what's it called? Where can you find it? Come on, man. Let's fucking gotta step it up.
It's on any of the things. You can go to any of them.
What's your
I put
preferred
them on
thing?
all of them.
All of them?
Wait, let
All
me.
of them.
What's the name? What's the
Yeah,
name?
what's the name?
I need to know.
It's my name. My name's Tyler Novak.
Atty Novak,
Wow.
yeah.
Atino.
And it's called the Control Room Collection.
Nice.
In a little inside joke in reference to my university and a time my professor forgot my name, walked into the room with an old student, looked me dead in the eyes and goes, "This is the control room," and then closes the door and gets the fuck out of there.
Nice.
So that was a
Nice.
great time. And then in class the next day, we go around in presentations, and he has a roster, and he gets to me, and this is after knowing this guy for like a year.
Yeah.
So he gets to me, he's like, "Oh, Tyler," it's like, "Don't you mean control room?" And everyone cracked up. So there we go, control room collection, and that's where I mix the things. So there we go. It's on all the things. Go listen to that thing.
Nice.
Thanks.
Nice.
So
The Control Room Collection
are you
by
going
Tyler
to be?
Novak.
Are you going to
That's
be
the name of the
dancing to
thing.
this at the club on Friday at the Colorado?
Oh yeah.
I will be dancing exclusively to this.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, nice.
Naked.
Especially
This
this
is gonna be
great
a hot
piece.
set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go check
Well,
him
that's
out.
great.
No,
Yeah, man.
sure.
For sure.
Thanks, guys.
I
Thanks.
genuinely enjoyed my two full listens that I've gone through this. So I'm sure others will enjoy it as well.
I greatly appreciate.
Yes.
Appreciate
Yes.
that.
Yes.
English.
Killing, man.
Thank you.
That-
Thanks,
that's some
guys.
Good English.
Much appreciated. Yeah.
It's the
The best.
the Canuck English.
Yes.
Oh,
Take it
Tyler.
over. So anyway, what's going on with you guys? Let's go on to different things.
Yeah.
How are you, Will? How are you, Craig?
Right now, again, I am once again undercaffeinated. I wish I
Oh.
would have taken a nap.
Oh.
But it's okay, dude.
Go take a
I'm
shot.
just ready to.
Of cocaine.
Nah, I'm just gonna stick to water and like sleep. I just.
Water and cocaine, bro. That's not a good mix.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not.
Well, you should probably sleep instead of doing cocaine every day.
Ah, damn.
I know that's what you just said.
Okay.
Right. That you're addicted to coke.
I'm sorry, guys. Yep, this is that episode. I finally come out with my coke addiction problems, guys. I've been struggling
I
with
mean,
it.
every podcast you've had a mound of coke behind you and like a white mustache across your face. I mean, your headphones are made of coke. They were black.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. This is necessary.
This is good. This is really good.
Thank you, guys.
This is progress.
I feel loved and supported by my friends and my fans.
And of
Oh, yeah,
course,
we
the
support.
We're all here for you, bud.
We are very
All of
supportive
us.
of your habits and what
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah,
So please
that's
don't
the whole
stop.
thing. Is
Oh,
we're not
wait.
trying to tell you to stop. We're trying to tell you to do more.
Yeah, do
and more
more.
consistently. Yes.
Whatever it takes to service that hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's important.
Ah,
Oh my God.
let it be known, William does not have a cocaine problem. I've never done cocaine. Just parentheses.
But he might.
But yeah, there's always
Might.
a chance.
There's always a
a chance.
There's a universe where you are a cokehead.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'll
Damn.
drink to that.
And something tells me it's not that far away from this one, but I'm glad it's not this one.
Yeah.
It's like one of the deja vus you have. You're like, oh, I really want to. Oh, that was weird.
Wait.
Yo, going back to when we were driving around in Texas that one night,
Yeah.
that was a snapshot from that reality.
Yes, that was.
We lived a night in it.
That really
Okay.
was.
Okay.
See? That was Will on coke, just without coke.
Yep.
Ah. There was a break in the, I don't know, space-time continuum or something.
Yes.
That happens.
They call it deja vu. They say it's when two universes collide, and that's why you have memories of things. And you're like, I
Mhm.
feel like I've been here before. And yeah.
Hmm.
When two universes love each other?
Very, very much.
I don't know about love each other. Maybe they're
They-
fighting, and like one just got stabbed, and his blood got on him, and that's why we have deja
Oh,
vu.
That makes sense.
You
That
never
makes
know,
sense.
man. It could-
That explains this universe right now
Yeah.
with the world. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like every day for like the last year plus or 30 years or however long it's been has been the same thing over and over again.
So
We've passed a year.
Yeah,
we
have.
Well, speaking of same
Yeah.
thing, yesterday there was a shooting. So today Biden announces that he wants to enforce like all background check on all gun sales, and like, what did the people do? They had another shooting. Like they just in protest went out and shot it, and there's like a couple of them.
God damn it, man.
Wait. Sorry. There was a protest against it, and so the protest was a shooting?
Well, that was their act of protest. Like, I guess they were mad about Biden putting any restriction at all, and so they went out and shot up people.
Jesus Christ, man.
I think.
Where
I
was
don't know.
this? Wait, whoa.
Yeah, I
Are you
haven't heard
lying
about-
to us right now?
I am
Are
not
you
lying
lying?
to you. I swear to God.
Is one of them the one that was in the grocery store in Colorado, or is that like already old news?
I think that's old news.
Oh,
So yesterday,
crap. Okay.
an NFL player, I don't know who, like an ex-NFL player who played on 6 different teams apparently, shot and killed like a doctor and his 3 kids. And
Oh
so-
my God.
Yes, and then he killed himself.
Holy shit.
Do
So-
they know what the story is behind that?
I don't know. I think I know I saw the dad on the news and he was like, I think the football messed him up. Like, yeah, it was rough. So today Biden goes out and he says like okay, we're not like every time you guys think we want to ban guns, he's like, we don't want to ban guns. He's like, literally, like, it's so easy to get a gun. He's like, it's
Yeah.
so easy. He's like, you can be allowed to buy a weapon before your background checks go through. And it's like, it might take up to 3 weeks. It's like, why would you need one within
Yeah.
3 weeks? Like, why is that
Yeah.
even a problem? You know,
Yeah.
you order something online and you'll wait 3 weeks for it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it should be akin to a passport that takes a month.
Yeah.
yeah,
Same
it doesn't
level of document.
anything, dude. Like, and so like whenever like they want to push these extra laws, like they're literally not even saying banning them. So he pushed like 6 executive orders through today that have to do with like, and I guess people are taking it the wrong way because they're like, oh, he got rid of guns. He didn't, but what he did was make it normal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's harder to buy a car than to buy a gun. Like, it's significantly harder, and like that's kind of a lot, you know. Like I think guns are, that whole Second Amendment thing, cool. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's fine. But when you can buy a gun like without anyone checking who you are, because everyone always says like, oh, well, we the responsible gun owners do yeah. It's like, well, okay, if you want to be responsible, then you should be for this extra background checks, you know. And it's literally because of like the time. People like, they just
Yeah.
don't want to wait. I'm like, what are you in such a rush to get your weapons for? Like, well, you know, the apocalypse, you know, become what? Come on, dude. Like, I really don't get it. Why aren't you for, like, you go to a gun show, you can just buy a weapon and leave. It's like, how come you're not checking people before they go in the gun show? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't take that long, you know. Like,
Mhm.
TSA does it every day with airplanes. You know,
Yeah.
like literally
Yeah.
every day. Like, it's not a. They're so against it though. Like, and I don't understand it. I really don't. And I know, like, I have friends that are like, you know, big gun owners and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how would you feel about them, like, adding this extra stuff? And they're all for it, which is
Yeah.
what I think is wild. So I'm like, where are all these people that are not about it coming from? And I guess it's those guys, the ones who in protest decided to go out and shoot people.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is humanity. This is what COVID has done to people's minds, where like your idea of saying I'm not about this is to literally do the reason we had to enforce it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I mean-
it just seems so counterproductive and ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
Like,
You're not
man.
making your case look any better.
Yeah.
That happened one
Yeah.
time. I forget where for some reason in one city, they were gonna do a red flag law, and like in protest, the whole town like bunkered up in a, like, I don't want to say an alley because it was like, but it was like in a, almost like a flood relief, like a bunkered thing, and they had like all their guns and they set up like barrel. They were ready for a gunfight. They were literally like the whole town with everything, and the cops had to come, weapons drawn, and they're pointing them at cops, and they're like, "You can't take our weapon." It's like, bro, chill out. Like, you set this all up. Like, it looked like a robbery. Like, where everyone's shooting at each other except no one was shooting, and
Jesus Christ.
But it was crazy because they, the whole. Like, it wasn't like they were being chased and had to set it like they were under attack. Like, they just went out there and set it up, and, like, they're just out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of defeating the purpose of what you should be doing to go against this.
Yeah.
So, again, to recap, they said, okay, they're taking our guns. We got to fight for our rights to, have guns. And then they bunkered up and said, come get them. And then they came to them, and they're like, don't take our guns. We're going to shoot at you.
Absolutely, yes.
And then they had a standoff, basically, with the police.
Yes, that is exactly... There you go.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
The same individuals, mind you, that are probably, there in other, we'll call them other circumstances, screaming Blue Lives Matter, but they're going to be there with their guns and, ready to fight the police. Yeah. I don't know, dude.
And
it's
like,
just, yeah.
I'm not against guns. Like, I think I understand it. Like, and I mean, people's lives have been saved because of concealed carry. There was remember that guy was going to shoot up a whole church, and like
the church thing is awesome. Yeah,
he got like one round off, and like immediately just like boom, and the guy was gone. Like 200 lives saved that day. And
easy.
I'm about that kind of stuff. What I'm not about is, like, you are so attached to this idea of, like, you think you have no freedoms, and that your one freedom you want to exercise is the right to own a weapon. Yeah. And when you ask what's the reason, and you go, listen, this is a dangerous weapon. Like, load it. Like, if you're gonna use it, you gotta use it right. And if you're gonna use it for protection, you gotta make sure you know how to use it and what's going on. And people are just like, no, I need it right now. I need it today.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
Because I'm worried. Or like, it's for a birthday. It's like, well, you should have come a month ago. Like,
yeah.
Wait, for a birthday. Wait, whoa, wait.
You could do that.
Again.
See, that's like one of the weird like workaround laws. Like, okay, if Craig comes to Texas, he can't buy a gun because his ID is not a Texas identification. Okay?
Yeah.
But I could buy a gun registered as a gift for Craig and just hand it to him in the store.
I mean, shit, Trevor, we've done this, at least 5 or 6 times by now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
But that's like the whole thing. And like, you know how I know that? Because somebody at the store told me that. Yeah. Like, I was there with my uncle who's from New York, and we were looking at him, and he was like, oh, I can't sell you a gun. He's like, but he could buy it, and he can say it's a gift and give it to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you... What?
Yeah.
Hey, kids in high school, here's how you get
are you ready
alcohol
for
from the guy at the beer store.
Yeah.
So, to kind of wrap up this whole thing and why it bothers me is because today on the news, after, a couple of hours after all this gets shown, I see a big thing about that this ease of access is like increasing. This is going to sound crazy at first, but it's increasing suicide rates in young teens, if not younger. And there was a lady on the news whose daughter, who was 10, shot herself. A 10-year-old. Why? Because she was upset she lost her tooth. And
wait, what?
Yes, a daughter who's like, there's obviously issues there, but like, such a ease of access, like because like the parents had it, they didn't really know what, they weren't avid users of it, and they just kind of had it there, and like a 10-year-old would go out and like, she was upset, and like she had this mindset of like, I'm so upset that I'm just gonna kill myself, and like that mindset,
without even knowing how, like, I don't know
what was happening,
or like the concept of death.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doesn't know it, but like,
but it's
maybe
so
not knowing that it'll actually kill her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just the
but
fact
that's just fucking sad. And
yeah, and
I mean,
it's not like that has anything directly with the gun violence, but it definitely has an increase in, like, if you can lower the number of weapons in a household, you know, you're really lowering that risk severely, you know?
I mean, I think I heard once that if you have a gun in your household, it increases any chance of an accident by 30% just by it being there immediately.
You know how many people,
Proven.
I used to know it, but there's a lot of people who have, who on a yearly basis accidentally shoot their kids, like coming back home at night thinking someone's breaking in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a big thing. And the other thing is, what was it? Oh, the number one cause of death for African Americans between the age of 18 and 35 is homicide by a weapon.
Really?
It's the leading cause of death. Isn't that wild?
Mm-hmm.
Homicide. I don't know if that's only in Texas or if that's only in certain parts, but that was another thing I heard.
That's
So
really crazy, man.
So, like, the idea of, like, should we enforce a little stronger background check? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm about that.
Yeah.
I don't see why you're so mad you have to go kill more people. Tyler, are you going to do that when you leave Canada? You're just going to take all the anger out?
Oh my God.
What? I mean, no, man. I'm gonna go to the CVS and get a nice little shot.
Yeah, man.
Have a good time. But no, I mean, Canada doesn't have the same issues with mass shootings, and imagine that they have stricter gun control laws.
Yeah.
That's been proven. I mean, that it works. It's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. And when I was a kid, like, you could buy a gun at Walmart, or I think you still can. Possibly.
Probably.
I think you could even buy it at a gas station when I was
Not a gas
little
station.
kid.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe. It could be, you know.
When I was a little
I feel like
kid.
in San Angelo, we'd find like a shack, just some guy like, y'all need a weapon? Like,
fried lizards, guns.
it's like, what'd you guys do on tour? We bought guns. It's like, okay, it's like that South Park where they go, well, how are we? Yeah. What's the South Park where they're like, man, how are we gonna get guns? And then it just cuts to they all have guns. Like, well, we got guns. Like, that was easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be us on tour. It's like, what'd you guys do today? Oh, we just wanted to see if we could, and here they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we get stopped for speeding, and then they open the back of the truck, and this is just.
And they go, guys,
Yeah.
is this a gram of marijuana?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what's amazing though is if you actually look at the people who refuse to implement any sort of gun control measures, it's always the same kind of ancient aliens, NRA folks. And it's always, the Second Amendment. If the government comes for me, I got to defend myself against the government. It's like, yo, if the government wants you dead in some kind of 1984 future, you having a rifle is not going to save you. The government will end you.
That's kind of
They
my
have
thought
the
too. Is they're
ways.
like
That's a very good point.
everybody
Yeah,
like
we're
that
past
posts,
that.
everybody that I know that's really pro, kind of like you're saying, the super pro NRA guys on Facebook, they always post about like, oh, it starts with they take your guns and then they do this, and it's like, look at the Nazis, they did this and this. It's like, we're so far past that. Like, you really think we as a people, like as a whole, like, come on, like I'm pretty sure the people I know, like in the military, like, you're so pro-military, but you're saying the government's going to enforce this, like, I don't know, like what do you call it, like tyrannical society in a way. And it's like, the people that would have to enforce that are the people in the military that we're supporting super like hard. Like, it's like, oh, they're gonna take our guns and then they're gonna do this and then they're gonna, it's like, they're not saying we don't have guns. The idea is that if all our guns are guns, the police don't need guns. And then so the only person left is the military. That's the UK. Police officers don't have guns in the UK.
They don't have guns in a lot of places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
Pussies.
probably bunch of bitches, bro. They don't have no Desert Eagles on them.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where the crisis. I'm not a big Biden guy, but he worded it really well. He's like, it's an epidemic.
When
in this
he
country.
can word, he does word well.
Yeah.
I'll give that to him.
He really
Gun
does.
violence is an epidemic, and I'm like, that's true. And you look at other countries, and there is like nothing. It's like what? I think
Yeah.
the UK has like 30 people shot a year from gun violence. Like we
Really?
have something. It's really low. It's really really low. Australia has like nothing. They don't have any.
Oh, well, they had the crazy thing where the government bought back all the guns.
That's what-
I think
that's
that was
what-
in the last 20 years.
That's what America wants to enforce in red state laws. Like, not necessarily banning guns, but they want to say, like, okay, we're not banning them, but in an attempt to help reduce the number of weapons out there, we will buy back your weapons. Like,
I mean, there's more guns than people. I think that's a very valid initiative.
I think I could be wrong on this, so don't hold me on this one. But I'm pretty sure that 50% of residents in the state of Texas own CHLs.
I'm sorry, what's a CHL?
Concealed handgun license.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So think about if you walked into a restaurant and pulled out a gun and said, everybody get down and give me your wallets. 50% of that restaurant is going to pull out a gun and say,
Bitch, please.
bitch, please.
Yeah.
So that's already a lot of people, you know, armed and ready. Like, I never know.
Yeah.
Like, and like,
No.
it's open carry is legal here.
Yeah.
I never see it. Hardly ever do you see anybody. Because, first of all, they don't want you to know I'm armed. Like, I wouldn't want you to know I'm armed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet maybe further out in some of the, you know, the more West Texas states, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, it's always been legal to, like, say, carry a rifle on your back. Like, walking down the street. You can just do that. That's always been. I think, like, in most states, you can just do that. But nobody in their right mind is like, I'm going to walk
Yeah.
down the street with a rifle.
Yeah.
I mean, the NRA protesters do.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah. Yeah.
That's true, man. They're silly, man, because they don't make themselves look good. They're like, they'll see like a Black Lives Matter protest and they go, let's counter it with a White Lives Matter protest, and you know what? Let's bring our guns. It's like, what? That does not make it look any better, like at all. Like, it just you look silly.
Guns.
Why did you bring your guns? That wasn't enough.
I,
All right, we'll
like-
bring the Confederate flags. We gotta wave it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a bee in here. Yeah, get it? Yeah.
You know why? Because they're rebels.
That's right. They're
all
the
rebels.
angsty emos that grew up.
They're the what? I'm sorry, say that one more time. They're the what?
They're the angsty rebel teenagers that
Oh.
listened, you know, to the metal in '80s, and here they are now.
Yeah.
They got to rebel against. Got to rebel against the government that
Well.
they support so much. Because we support our troops, even though the one day that they might turn against us, we might have to take all weapons and shoot them back in the face. Because I'm pretty sure I could take out a Marine with
Yeah.
with
Good
my
luck.
handgun.
And in the meantime,
Good fucking
and in the
luck.
meantime-
All right, George.
In the meantime, they're gonna drink beer and listen to Pantera.
Oof.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh no, bro! It's all about
That's,
the Zach Brown band down here. If
That's a hard
The
bet.
Zach Brown.
you're truly shooting stuff, you're listening to country music. Because remember, it's always about trucks, beer, and women, and then
Yeah.
guns.
Yep.
But we can't sing about guns because that makes us sound mean. So we listen to Pantera.
I think Johnny Cash sang about guns.
Probably.
Tactfully.
I don't know. I feel like people want to own guns because they're like, I could take care of my own business. Like if someone like robs them, they're like, I'm just gonna go shoot them. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
that's not how we live. You're like,
I mean, that's how they do it in some places, unfortunately. Like Florida.
Yeah.
yeah, the
And they
stand
have
your ground
laws
law.
to protect that.
All I have to do is threaten you, and you can shoot me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could just tell Craig, I'm gonna kill you, and you can just shoot me. It's a stand your
What?
ground
And
law.
does it not matter where you are? I mean, like, if you visit Craig and in his house,
I don't think it matters. No, because in Texas, if you just step on my lawn and I tell you to get off, and you go no, I can shoot you.
Oh, the stand your
Wow.
ground law.
But the
or is
stand
that
your
what it's
ground
called?
That's
law-
what they call it in
Yeah.
But
Florida.
in Florida, it's different. All you have to do is be threatened. If you feel threatened, you can shoot someone. That's what I'm saying. If you just pulled out a pocket knife and you were showing it to me, and then I gave like a weird look and then shot you, and there was a video of that, I could say he pulled out a knife and threatened me, so I shot him.
Oh, okay.
Well, and apparently the Supreme Court of Florida just ruled that also applies to police officers.
Ah!
Yeah. So that's a fun one.
And
now they did that.
That was
okay.
There were two cases very recently.
Okay,
both ruled in their favor.
big
Interesting.
one. I have a
Literally
big
just going backwards. That's
big
just
news.
Yeah.
worse.
I have big news.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this, only because I'm really interested. But the George Floyd case, the guy who's on trial for killing him. All right. So yesterday, the chief of police came in, watched everything, and they did him, and he was like, "Look, there was nothing I support about what my officers did." And then like the defendant comes in, and he's like, "Well, like, what is it specifically that you don't like?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I don't like every decision made here. I don't like the way they analyzed this. I don't like the way they went into this. They didn't check on his health. They didn't think of their health. The other officers weren't talking about aggression. Like, they didn't underestimate, like, why was he even in handcuffs, yada, yada, yada." So he goes on, and, like, basically the chief of police is like, these guys are bad. So then today, the one of the doctors that, like, confirmed him dead and, like, just one of the leading doctors in, like, asphyxiation, that kind of thing, was showing, like, and he showed evidence, and he had 3D models of, like, that he died from asphyxiation. Like people try to say he was on drugs and that the drugs could lead to how he died. He's like, no, look at this, like, the way he had it on him. He's like, at minute 3 of this, like, technically his body, you, like, see in his knuckles are curled up so hard like this, and it's like, it's the body trying to breathe through their knuckles, like it's trying to get oxygen in any way possible.
Oh my
and
God.
then they cut over, they're like, look at his feet. His feet are off the ground. He's like, that's not from him asphyxiating. That's how hard the officer is pushing on him, that his body is lifting up. And, like, so then the defendant comes in, and he's like, what do you actually think, though? Like, do you think these other drugs that can lead to this? He's like, yes. He's like, but in the time frame done, like, at this exact moment and the way this is. And then he's like, let me show you even further. He brought a 3D, like, thing, and he's like, the way at this, at minute this, and at moment this is when the life has left the body, and this is when this, and it's because of this, and he kept it on. There is no way that anybody could ever try to say he died from anything other than that officer.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. Tomorrow, though, the actual, like, coroner is testifying.
Oh,
tomorrow.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But man, that's been the news the past 3 days. Everything we've just talked about. Think about that for a minute. Like, the past 20 minutes of just this nonsense has been the news.
It sounds like America's opening back up, guys. Believe it or
In
not.
Dallas, the Texas Rangers had a baseball game, fully open stadium.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Full capacity, sold out.
Wow.
And you're
even
not
a little
required
bit
to
of
wear a
testing,
mask.
Right.
No testing, not required to wear a mask.
And
Yo,
it's
guys,
painful.
let me
It's painful to hear this.
This is why we're going to
Let me
Austin, because Austin wouldn't put up with this shit, bro. They're like,
let me
no.
counter this by saying here we just got put in a stay-at-home order yesterday. Sherwin-Williams is curbside again, and life is as bad as it has ever been in Canada land.
Bro, this is Sherwin-Williams right outside Greatwood. I bet it's booming.
Dude, we're booming, but we're curbside.
That's gotta suck,
Jeez.
dude. So you just gotta bring everything outside.
I mean, it's just the phones. Imagine just like dealing with every single human you interact with on a phone.
Our phone lines went up our phone calls went up like crazy. So what did? We got rid of one of the phone lines. We're like, we can't. We're like, we're not dealing with this. We had 3. We cut it down to 2. We're like, no. But it's nonstop every day. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
My whole job, I could spend the whole day just answering phones.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, yeah, okay, so COVID cases are kind of rising here in Puerto Rico as well, and we had like a new, for the longest time the curfew was like from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m., so like 12 midnight until 5. Because of rising cases, it's now from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. But like, I mean, that's like,
I think that's what Texas is.
And it goes. That was announced yesterday, and it goes into effect. Oh, today, yeah. Oh, no, tomorrow. It goes into effect tomorrow, But like,
Oh wait, curfew for like all people?
I mean, curfew for like bars and restaurants,
Oh, I see,
or
I see.
like, you know,
Uh-huh.
you're not supposed to be out. You know, like, I mean, if you're working, yeah, but it shouldn't be like a place where people come into your, I don't know, the store to like congregate and party, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, where I'm working at, that's probably not gonna change anytime soon. And like, I don't know if they're just gonna be finding people, which they have been, and they have been arresting like tourists or like people who just refuse to wear their masks around like the street. But it's like, oh yeah, there's a curfew, and then like just nobody listens to it, and people just do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, people don't seem to care, bro. People seem to think, oh, I don't know, a fraction of the population is getting vaccinated. Let's go party.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the frustration up here in Canada is the fact that they just banned the AstraZeneca vaccine to people below 50.
Yeah.
And they also just announced, in tandem with the stay-at-home order in Ontario, that people above 18 are eligible for a vaccine. But to my knowledge, there are no vaccines in the country for people under 50. So it's kind of just like, what does this mean? What is happening?
Is that the only one in Canada? The AstraZeneca one?
To my knowledge, yeah, we're supposed to get Pfizer to Moderna like in June. By the time I'm in Chicago with the boys,
I heard
so.
the AstraZeneca US had a bunch of them, and they donated all of them to Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a mess, but
I got my
I'll be back soon.
Are you gonna try to schedule your vaccination while you're here?
Absolutely.
Cool.
That's the plan.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
No. I want to get to that taken care of within a couple of days of getting there, if that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, if any of you guys have not been vaccinated by that point, let's do it.
Yeah, man. Killing. We actually
Group activity.
in Chicago, they just opened up vaccinations to people under 16 now. So like we're pretty much full bore here now. Granted, Plainfield and Chicago do not sit in the same, regulations areas, you know what I mean? So I've still got a bit to wait, but like I was just saying earlier, is just the fact that like I don't really, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather somebody that's got a high exposure to people getting it's just like I have to go out of my way to try and see somebody out here, That's yeah.
I got a text for my vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for I signed up. So I'm just waiting
Okay.
for the
Cool.
call.
Good, good.
You know when it might be, like the next week or two?
No idea. They gotta text me. I kind of want the Johnson because I just want one shot.
Really? Even with the
Yeah.
75% effectiveness?
Oh, I didn't know that. Fuck that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about it. Is just like it's the one shot and it seems to be more readily available, but like supposedly what is it? Moderna and Pfizer both sit at like 98 and 97%, and then the Johnson and Johnson's at like 75% like effectiveness, and I'm just like sitting and I'm thinking to myself like don't get me wrong, I'd be totally fine with that, like it's like a test result for like something at the B word or whatever, but I'm just thinking like we're talking about maybe dying here, like I 75 ain't that great.
I think I'd be okay. I've been doing this whole public thing for the whole time.
Yeah,
My
no,
white blood cells
yeah.
must be like working their ass off, like
Yeah,
all
probably.
I mean, the fact that two of my roommates, shout out to Jimmy from Mumbai,
Jimmy from
ended
Mumbai.
up getting it, and Will and I didn't. My other roommate, I mean, hell, there's got to be something weird to that. Like, I was wicked sick January of 2020 when I flew home from Atlanta, as was Will, who flew back from North Carolina.
Okay.
And we think like, hey, maybe we had something then, and that was why we were fine now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird, man. I don't know, Trevor. You might have something seriously,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
an antibody to it.
maybe.
There was a moment of clarity I had earlier. I was reminiscing back to last February when we went to PAX East.
What a good time.
the best time. But
Oh
when
yeah,
I
you
was
saw
staying,
Chivalry. Chivalry's coming out. Fuck
yeah, Chivalry 2 is coming out. Yeah. But so when I was at Yoav's place, because I stay there when I go to Boston, Nick Thorpe of the Vera K, bassist, awesome. He was crazy sick, like crazy, like to a point of where like I saw him like once in the week and a half that I was there, and he was just
I
like he's like.
remember you telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I wanted to hit him up like the other day when I was thinking about this, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just not gonna do that. But like, you know, I'll just make it public to everybody. Yeah, Nick Thorpe probably had COVID. Not kidding.
He said,
Well, you
"Fuck
just
the world.
did,
I'm
bud."
gonna give it to everybody."
Oh man. But yeah. Fortunately, he's alive. He just offered me his new bass guitar for $355,000 or.
Oh,
I saw that, man.
See
That's a
that?
screaming deal.
That was great.
Screaming deal.
I liked your counter offers.
Yeah. I'll give you tree fitty. I'll give you tree fitty 1.
I played an Ibanez, one of those Artcore hollow bodies today.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
$400. Played it through
Yeah.
a Marshall Origin for like probably half an hour. Loved it.
Yeah. Oh cool.
Loved it. It was great.
Cool. Nice.
I'm glad we're getting into music because, first of all, this is episode 10.
Yeah, man.
Check it out.
I can't believe it myself.
That's true.
Joe Rogan, here we come.
I feel
Your-
like I forgot
your
to say that
2000
at
ain't
the
got
top
shit.
of the podcast.
Yeah, that was not mentioned. Hey, we are double digits now.
We're double digits.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're legit.
Wow.
Wait till we get to 1,000 tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're premium content. coming
Premium
soon.
content.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with that,
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
with the great music references,
Manscaped.
yeah. Will, are your
Never
balls
forget.
itchy? Because you
Nope.
need some Manscaped. Tell me about the White Stripes.
Yeah, let's.
Was that the transition? I was.
Album of the week.
So this week we did White Stripes' Icky Thump. Okay, the reasons why I chose this was I just love this album. And when I first heard it, I just couldn't believe how consistently the songs just blew me away. And this was the album that got me into like the White Stripes and into the whole Jack White, like his whole like different bands and whatnot. But this album is the one that like got my attention the most. So like a quick overview. So I never realized, but this was their last album as a band. After this, they broke up, which was interesting. Again, this just in comparison to last week's album, and when I was like listening to it and like looking at it, I'm like, wow, I was really hating on 30 Seconds to Mars, being like, man, this just sounds like a bunch of singles. And then I'm looking at this album and I'm like, wait, is this also a bunch of singles? I don't know, but hey, I digress. Well, I'll
Oh,
leave that
brother,
until-
have I got some shit to drop on you, but keep going.
But I don't know, something about, I think when I first heard this, it was probably like early high school as well. And something about how raw it sounds and like the tones in general, it really caught my attention. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna state the obvious. Fuck you guys. Megan White is a great drummer. There's a lot of shit of like, oh, dude, she doesn't play on time, or like she just sounds weird. Like, I don't know, man. It sounds great with this band. I think it just adds to how immediate the songs sound. Just the sound of it. Again, the first track, Icky Thump, The solo on that, the guitar solo on that, blows me away. I don't know what the fuck it sounds like. I can't describe it, but I love it. And I mean, yeah, everything else, I don't know. Rag and Bone, great. Cat's Hell Blues, fucking love it.
When did you first hear this album?
I think, okay, so maybe like 2013, actually, kind of, I mean, a lot later than when it actually came out. But yeah, probably 2013, 2012.
Nice. I'm actually glad you picked this album of the White Stripes albums, because this was also my first, like, White Stripes album. And I got it in, like, 2010 or 2011. Like after they broke up, but like, you know, kind of the start of getting into music. This was one of the first albums I got. That's why I was saying I have it on CD actually in my little my little pile of collections. But this album to me was really wild. Like at the time, this was something that again kind of got me into Jack White and all the things he does. But that being said, okay, so as of right now, I love this album. I'm starting with that. Like, I really do like this album. I like basically the whole album. The way it flows. I actually like the way the tracks are listed, too, because of the way it flows. My favorite is the whole Prickly Thorn through Little Cream Soda. That trio of songs, to me, like, blows out, like, so good. And then it goes into Rag and Bone. It's so nice. That being said, when I was younger, though, and I first heard this album, I really didn't like it. Like, I really didn't. I didn't like most of it because it wasn't rock. It wasn't like, you know, okay, here's the crazy guitar solo and here's the drum, like, crazy, like, oh, Meg White's this bitch of a drummer. Like, she can't really even do a solo, and it's only these two guys. How are you supposed to be heavy? How are you going to get this? And that was just me being a little brat, you know? Having re-listened to this whole thing now, like, it's the sound. It's the sound. And that's what Jack White's always kind of going for is the singer-songwriter sound. But, like, in going by them as, like, a singer-songwriter kind of style, they're a heavy band. I look at it that way. I look at it as, like, this, he's telling these stories, and that's kind of his focus. Like, Icky Thump is a heavy story about immigration. And yet, if you just focus on the sounds, you don't really get a lot of that. And so he does that throughout a lot of it. And I look at it from a sense of like, okay, this is a guy who cranked this fuzz out, cranked his volume up, and got his wife involved to do this, like, just, hey, we need to make music. And as the like track listing goes through, I hear that form idea that he was going for throughout it. Specifically though, like, the whole like genre change throughout was the big thing I didn't like growing up. Like hearing like Little Cream Soda and then going into Rag and Bone, you know, like it was like a whole new thing. It was like, this couldn't be the same band, like, you know, for me at the time though. And like I do feel like with the White Stripes, there probably is a huge market of people who won't like them because of that. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people who don't like Jack White's like focus on like the tone rather than the riff, or like the story and the idea of this, like, oh, I need to kind of sing off or like get that attitude. Like in Conquest, there's that last chorus or the last verse where he comes in literally sharp as hell, like so sharp it's like so ridiculous. You would think it was a modulation and then it's not. But like today I was listening to it and I got a different vibe out of it. I got it as more of like he was like in that whole idea of this matador, like he was really forcing so hard in his singing that it pushed his pitch upward because of how hard he was trying to sing like this part. And that was kind of an idea I got out of it, and it was a lot more effective to me when I thought about it that way, or when I started thinking at it in a little bit different ways. And I know I'm rambling on like crazy, but I really had a great experience coming back to this album now than I did in my like high school kind of days, like growing up and listening to it. There are some songs that don't stand out as much, like the second track I'm not crazy about.
I mean,
But most of them I love. Yeah, most of them I love.
Coming into the second track from Icky Thump especially is kind of like, okay, yeah, it's definitely like up and then way kind of, I don't want to say down, but just not that same energy.
I love that song.
I love that song.
It's one of my favorite.
second track?
No, like the second
Oh,
song.
no.
Yeah, you don't know what love is.
I like
love
it. I
that
didn't.
song.
I felt like maybe I think Will put it a good way.
Maybe
Coming
in a
at
different order. Maybe
coming at it,
like,
yeah, coming at it, Icky Thump. It's hard.
Get it?
Because Icky Thump's such a great album
I mean,
opener, and like
I'm a longtime Jack White fan. I absolutely love all of his stuff. But I kind of came into this at a weird point where I started listening to Jack White after the White Stripes. So like I had listened to Get Behind Me, Satan and whatnot in high school, along with like Modest Mouse and Yeah Yeah Yeahs and like Death from Above and all the other like duo-y, grungy indie rock stuff. But my introduction to Jack White was solo. And I think a lot of it was because I was just like a little bitch and I was just a bass player. So, oh, there's no bass, so I don't get it. But I liked it. It's not like I didn't like it. I just didn't have an avid interest in the White Stripes like I found in Jack White's stuff. And a lot of like Jack White's stuff, it's the most recent album, Ice Station Zebra. It's all over the place. Is that the album or is that I know it's a song, but is that the album name? Am I messing that up? The blue cover. Whatever the blue cover is. It's a back and check it out. Yeah, it's very back and forth in terms of style. And listening to this, I mean, I thought this was just fucking fantastic. I loved this album, but because I mean, I can listen to things with a little
Boarding
bit of a
House
sense. Reach. That's it. Ice Station Zebra's a song. Boarding House Reach. But yeah, no, just the back and forth between the styles. It was very much the same thing. I know, Trevor, I suck. But yeah, very much the same kind of thing. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why that didn't mess me up, because I'm used to listening to huge jumps in style and energy between Jack White's songs.
Yeah.
But, no, I thought this was great. And also, the White Stripes stuff I listened to was more lo-fi than this. Like, if this is their last album before they split, it makes sense. Just because what I heard was less refined. I mean, no, I thought this was great. I thought it was a very fun thing. And Meg White, like, she plays in a very nuanced way. I'll give you that, Will. Like, a lot of attention to dynamics.
I do find that to be a good kind of approach, because like you two are kind of the only guys I met that liked Jack White before listening to the White Stripes, and I feel like that's gonna have a whole different, like, now that I know, but now that I know Jack White and everything he's done, this album kind of does make sense as the last White Stripes album. Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been quiet here.
I see some faces.
He's been lurking.
You know what? Fuck it. Go ahead. Lay it on me.
What a piece of fucking shit album.
Really?
Let's argue. Okay.
I'm kidding. Okay. So at first I was gonna be like a real asshole about this. Because I was like, you know what, Will? Last week hurt.
I almost
hurt a little bit.
Okay,
and
I almost had a private call with Craig and Tyler, and I was gonna say, hey guys, when Will asked us what we thought of the album, I was like, we should all say we only got through like the first 4 tracks and had to turn that shit off.
Yeah. So there, I will say this. Okay, so there's, interestingly enough, the song, this record, and you've already kind of brought this up a good bit. There's a good bit of kind of crossover in a lot of the things that you kind of said about, 30 Seconds, that I kind of thought about through this one. That being said, I got through it because I'm not a little bitch, so I'm just gonna, kind of just go through. No, so the things that I liked. Number one, this is one of the best sounding albums I've ever heard. Period. Like, this is an album that's made to be listened to on like a $75,000 hi-fi system. You know what I mean? Like, the way that the overtones sing in the toms and in the kick drum, and the really big harsh fuzzes and the
That guitar
guitars.
amp is so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The organ sounds were some of my
Yes.
favorite I've heard.
It's-
period.
Which
so
also
full.
yeah.
such
Yeah.
high gain. Like you hear the breakup so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of It's wherever they did this, whoever did this, because I didn't do any back history into it. They did a tremendous job.
I'm on the
because
mission.
It sounds very good, but it also sounds very organic, which makes me know that like this is 100% the recorded sounds and not some kind of a sound replaced. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is a real thing. The songs themselves, the songwriting is top notch. There's nothing that's necessarily like mind-bogglingly blowing me away about like in a talent on the instrument kind of an aspect. But that being said, like that's the point. Like is I'm hearing this and I'm saying to myself like it's almost like this album is by far the most like I feel of a whole 10 episodes. Hey, we did it. This has been the most like this album feels like the most regular people kind of album. Like I feel like anybody.
I
you
was
know,
literally
Yeah,
gonna.
exactly.
All week I was thinking about saying that, and I didn't.
Yeah.
You beat me to it. But I was gonna say this is easily the most sold album we've put on the podcast
Yeah.
so far. You know,
And-
Yeah.
Just to add in, I don't even
Most
need to see the
accessible.
producer. Studio Blackbird.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Um,
and I'm glad you said that, Craig. That was
Yeah.
kind of my like reaction to 30 Seconds to Mars, and
Mhm.
I don't know if this is that like, if I'm the only one thinking this, but because of the order of how we've been doing the episodes and the
Yes.
albums, I feel like whatever album you say at the beginning of like the next 4 weeks is like
Yeah.
oh shit, these next 3 albums have to be somehow be a reaction to what he
Correlate.
said, or like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we started out really proggy. Okay, how proggy can we get?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then
Yeah.
mainstream. How mainstream can we
Yeah.
get, but
Yeah.
kind of accessible but different? And so that's
Exactly.
why I kind of chose this one
It's
after last week's. You know.
it's a real no. It was a really good pick. I will say there were a couple of songs I wasn't super into. Very specifically, it was either Pickly Thorn or St. Andrew, whichever one had the fucking bagpipe. I just want to shoot myself every time I hear a bagpipe.
Technically both.
Both?
but-
Okay, yeah, I thought it was both.
Okay, so Prickly Thorn has the melody, the
Yeah.
and then St. Andrew has.
It's
more
like the
bagpipe.
outro tune.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
bagpipe.
I can't do bagpipe, man. I've tried, so it's like, and the song's not bad. It's just when I hear that instrument, I want to be hanging from a ceiling fan ASAP.
Fun fact: shout out to Cameron, because
Yeah.
Cam Ferrier plays the bagpipes because he's from
Well,
Scotland.
I'm really sorry. To
No,
Cameron.
and he will tell me, he's told me that at the B Word, he brought a pair into the practice rooms at 150 downstairs,
Yeah.
and they kicked him out because it was so loud. It's
Yeah.
the loudest instrument, I think, acoustically.
Yeah.
I have not heard anything louder. Like he's played
Yeah.
one note for me in his apartment, and like
Yeah.
I'm shocked nobody called the police. It's so loud because they're meant to
Yeah.
be played outside. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
and
Totally.
that's why you'll see 6 of them. Like, and it's so crazy. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
continue.
That's so
Uh,
strange. It's weird. Like, I hear a bagpipe and I know it's loud, but like visualizing it and thinking that much.
Think
louder
about it, you can just see a guy down the road and you can hear it clearly.
Yeah.
Now imagine a guitar, you know,
Yeah.
like or drums.
Yeah.
Like they're so loud. Think about they kicked him out of the practice room. Like they were like, like
We can't
like,
do it.
you're
brother.
too
Sorry.
loud. We can hear you.
Like-
They said they heard him in classrooms.
Oh, okay.
He was
yeah.
in a practice room, a floor down.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's wild, man.
They're
Crazy.
like, okay, we know you're in the one space where you're allowed to play as loud as you can, but you're too
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
And they only play
Yeah.
in one key.
Really?
It's only one key. I think it's B flat. They
Huh.
only play B flat.
Okay, so okay, but can you have like a bagpipe tune for a different key?
I don't think so.
Like or design? Okay.
Because I remember getting really into it with Cam one day. Like, well, can you do this? And he's like, moral of the story, they're one key. Like
Okay.
they play because they're meant to play the same 5 songs,
Okay.
and that's
Yeah.
it. And
Get the sheep into the
and to
place.
practice on them, they have a little like recorder version, so it's
Yeah.
the same fingering, and you can play into
Yeah.
that. But it's the same as like a recorder. It's just the one key,
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
that's it.
So if you can play the recorder, can you theoretically play the bagpipes?
Probably not, because you have to be pumping the bag and
Damn, dude.
don't know
I've
how-
got.
If you have some arm strength,
kilt?
and you can play the
you
recorder,
can't play
can you
bagpipe
play the
unless you have
bagpipes?
kilt.
Ah.
It's like the
and
law.
The other thing I wanted to add, because honestly, for the most part, like there were different songs that I like significantly more. Like I thought "Conquest" was a rad ass song. I really loved "Effect and Cause," the outro or the last song on the album.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. But they broke one of my biggest rules for like not liking music, and that's in Rag and Bone. You're not allowed to talk to each other in the track. Like that's just stupid. I'm just like the second I heard that I was like, well, I guess this album sucks now.
But,
Like
but it's supposed to be
okay.
old
It's
timey,
part of
man.
the song.
I know, but it's
Well,
already
yeah,
up
okay,
here.
I'm-
It's a rule, man. I can't break it. It's just.
Are
like,
you ready, Craig? Have you heard? Have you heard the song? Oh my god! You guys got to know what song I'm talking about. It starts with like that. It's like, "Are you ready, Steve? Phil? Like, let's go."
Yeah.
What song is that? Ballroom Blitz. I don't know who it's by, but it's called Ballroom Blitz. It's a good song, but that's how it starts. It's like, "Are
No, I
you
know
ready,
it, yeah.
Steve?" Like, so I'm gonna say that on the new
No,
album.
I'm
Are you
not
ready,
ready.
Craig?
Yeah, no.
Let's
Steve ain't ready.
go.
Phil ain't ready. Just stop, man. Like, cut the recording. We're done here. Like,
That's how
But
we're
I
gonna
mean,
start
Craig,
the
like,
podcast.
on that
Yeah.
tune,
Yeah.
it kind of fits into it. Does
I
it
don't
fits
care.
contextually
I
into
don't.
the bluesy?
I don't
like,
care.
I
I
mean, 'cause,
don't
like,
care.
Trevor, you mentioned like singer-songwriter. Jack White is an excellent like rootsy blues guitarist. He
Yeah.
really is.
But you don't got to do that
mean, he-
shit. Enough.
All right, listen, Tyler.
But
Tyler,
hey, man,
I'm with you.
it fits in there. Why
Tyler,
not?
I'm with you. But you know what? I'm kind of with Craig on this. He could have said anything else. Like
Yeah.
he could have talked
Yeah.
like that and been like, "All right, what's up, my boy?" I don't
Yeah.
know. But like the fact
Yeah.
Well, okay, the accents were bordering on problematic. Just that they're a little funky.
that's
Problematic. Damn, dude.
Oh, that's what I was gonna
funny.
say. To help promote this album, the outfits that they wear, like on the album cover and in the Icky Thump music video,
Yeah.
they sold USB drives
Okay.
that the hats would come off and then reveal the drive, and then one was Meg and one was Jack,
Oh, really? Oh, that's
or
cool.
like one side, yeah. But that was
Yeah.
that's a weird thing to help
Right?
market
That's
your
so
album.
specific.
Yeah.
A
But in
USB
2007, I guess that was a big thing. 16 megabyte, some shit like
drive,
that.
file
Yeah.
sharing. There we go.
File sharing.
There we go. The
Craig,
good
did
old
you like
days.
Little Cream Soda?
I like Little Cream Soda.
That was a rocker.
That's
good.
like that's
It's good.
probably my favorite. I
Yeah.
love that song.
Yeah.
There
There was a riff in either "I'm Slowly Turning Into You" or "A Martyr for My Love for You" that I was like sitting there. I'm saying like that's metal. Like that. It was a metal
I'm
riff.
slowly turning
That's what I'm
into
saying.
Yeah,
if you
okay,
think,
okay.
if you consider Jack White a singer-songwriter, this is a heavy album.
Yeah.
This is
yeah,
a heavy
definitely.
album. Compare this to Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like totally, and he is definitely on that kind of level as a songwriter. And so I would say like this is such a heavy album for that sound, which is probably why I didn't like it growing up. Because I liked the album, but I really only liked the 3 songs.
The heavy
off.
songs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Icky Thump
yeah.
and Little Cream Soda, and I did
Yeah.
like Conquest. Actually, in high school, my high school, I don't know if they still do it, but they had a thing called Dancing with the Staff instead of Dancing with the Stars.
Uh-huh.
And I did it one time.
Wait.
This is sounding problematic.
No, it was cool. It was to raise money for like charity and stuff for one of the programs. And so like the dance teams, like their whole thing was like their teachers were the judges, and then somehow I got called in to do it. And I was like, okay, everyone's gonna think I'm gonna do some half-ass shit. And I was like, I'm gonna like actually try something cool. And I got partnered with the band director at the time, who was like a shorter but like 40-year-old woman who was like in shape. And so we were like, yo, I was like, we should do something actually like good, and we did Conquest, and we did like a kind of like a Latin style dance to it, and it was really good. And all my friends were like, okay, you didn't half-ass that shit, so that was pretty good. And the judges were like, I didn't care for it.
Huh.
I was like, what? I put so much effort into it. Like, we worked really hard, but we did it to Conquest, and it was really good.
That's cool, man.
Like, we did the whole, like, bum, 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 bum. Like, it was cool. Like, and so props to Jack White for coming up with something modernized that's, like, super rad. And, you know, the whole... Will, is that a Spanish-style song? What would you call that?
Wait. Before I answer that question, I just want to visualize.
I'm not taking any
and
questions
really
about
meet,
Dancing with the Staff.
fucking Trevor in high school. Trevor in high school seems like he's a character now, but Trevor in high school
Dancing with the
seems
Staff.
like a even bigger character. I don't know. You seem like a fun guy.
I probably could have had my own TV show.
What? Sorry.
Trevor in class. I could have had my own TV show. It could have been a
Yeah.
sitcom. Trevor in
I-
class.
It's gonna be a new part of our podcast. Is Trevor
Yeah.
in class.
Trevor
Yeah,
in class.
Trevor in
But it's just like the. It's gonna like flash back to like, and it's gonna look like Welcome Back, Kotter. Do you guys know what Welcome Back, Kotter is?
Yeah.
Really? All right, good.
Yeah.
Tyler, do you know what that is?
I do not.
No.
Well, all right. John Travolta's first ever show was a show in the
Yeah.
70s, I think 70s, early 70s, called Welcome Back, Kotter, and it was like a high school show.
Yeah.
It was funny. They made jokes about Priest. It was great because it was allowed.
Yeah.
The
I
best.
think we talked about that, bro. I think we talked about that.
Probably in person. I
No,
feel like
no.
I brought it up before.
In this last time when we were in Chicago, you, me, and Craig, when we were in his uncle's place, in that fucking boat.
Oh,
thingy,
yeah,
He
yeah,
was talking
yeah.
about weird 50s or 70s shows.
He was talking about that, and then Trevor and Uncle Dennis were having like a back and forth about
Yeah.
yeah.
And then something about.
I'm telling you, my
the-
best friends are 40-year-olds and older. I don't know what it is. We just hired a new mechanic at the bike shop. He's in his 40s. We got along great. Yeah, it was
Nice.
dads. Like, me and dads are anyone my age, besides like you guys, it's hard. It's really hard. But dads,
Besides us, okay.
besides
'Cause we're
you guys,
fellow
you
dads.
guys, exactly. You guys probably also
Oh,
share
yes,
in my
I'm a father.
my 40-year-old friendship.
I've been a father for
Just
a
a
while.
spiritual father, brother.
Wow.
Fucking Craig.
Anyway, to answer your question, I think Conquest is just—it's like it plays off like a mariachi style, or
Okay.
like what we would say in Spanish, música de banda, but like it's folkloric Mexican music, or like it's heavily influenced by like Spanish and like colonial Spanish stuff, but it's Mexican band music, and that's
Okay.
kind of what the horns in Conquest. And I think there's a mariachi version of Conquest. Well, there you go. That's where it comes from. Or-
There is.
Nice.
yeah. It's
I'll
very
have to
funny.
listen to that.
Honestly, it's very funny.
Cool.
Imagine Conquest, but with a mariachi band. It's fucking hilarious.
Where are the
Oh,
White
fun
Stripes
fact.
from?
The White Stripes
Detroit.
did not write Conquest.
Oh,
What?
Porky Robbins, an American singer-songwriter, wrote Conquest. He is a graduate of the College Conservatory of Music. I don't know where that is. And he's only famous for writing Conquest and a song called Whispering Winds. Later,
cool.
so I don't know if he has a version of it out prior or if he wrote it for the White Stripes.
Interesting.
Fun fact. Or maybe he co-wrote. I don't know.
Can we talk about the slide guitar solo in Catch Hell Blues?
Yes.
That's a good solo.
man.
That's
Oh,
a really good solo.
It is.
See, there's some instrumental skill in
Yeah,
here,
there-
man.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Any
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, I just mean like, how do I say this?
There's no shredding.
It's
Well,
yeah, it's not gaudy,
I think it's more
but I
of
mean,
like the.
yeah,
There is shredding.
yeah,
I guess
to an
Truthfully,
extent,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just definitely not coming from the drums. It definitely,
Bro, come on.
Okay, there's a song that Meg plays. It's the one that starts in a slower tempo and she kind of just comes in and then she adds the
speeds
hi hat.
fuck
It's
up,
like
and
speeds
it's
a little.
great.
I like that. I thought that was cool. And then
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I think her fills are more original than Lars Ulrich's.
Hold on now,
I don't
brother.
know
That's
about
not
that.
a huge metric, but I agree.
All right, hold on. Fuck you, Tyler. Fuck you,
All right,
Tyler. Hey, hold
all
on.
of you, before you say anything further, Lars Ulrich has a sound. You know why? Because there's tons of videos of how this song would sound if Lars Ulrich was the drummer, or if this, So you got it. Same thing I said about.
What would
band
you
I
say
don't like.
if Meg White was the drummer? Would he just suck suddenly? Would the song just suck?
Okay, like
know.
let's reverse it. Meg White playing 1,
Oh my God!
or Lars Ulrich playing Icky Thump.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something. Wait.
I was gonna say you're making it sound good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then it gets to the chorus and it's like
Now you're doing the
Oh, no
Lombardo
blast beats.
thing.
No blast
You were
beats.
doing
That's not
Lombardo
very
now.
Lars.
That was Slayer now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be
So I think I know what we're gonna cover on tour, guys.
Oh, yeah.
In the style of all of
Oh
that.
yeah, exactly.
I'll do the vocals, bro. Only because I know the words already.
Down.
I would love to not have to worry about that.
You mean I don't have to learn more shit? Oh,
Uh,
we'll just let Craig drink at this point in the shit.
wow.
Oh,
Craig is
God.
just like,
That
"All right,
would
I'm
be
gonna
really
drink while these guys play some music, some gaudy music." So,
Yeah. Man.
That's not a
I'm
bad
trying to
idea.
think if,
Not gonna lie.
yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say. In regards to the songs go.
I liked Prickly Thorn because it was about a flower. I thought that was cute.
Wait. Okay, wait. So we're not gonna talk about how weird the lyrics are in "A Martyr for My Love for You." Like we've been talking about Fireball, the anyone's daughter. "A Martyr
Yeah.
for My Love for You" is a guy saying, "Wow, I'm a good guy because I'm not gonna date a 16-year-old."
Okay, and
I'm
I
a
have a
martyr
new.
That's what the song
At least
is.
he said it. At least he said it. He said, "I'm not gonna do this."
Yes.
Where, as opposed to.
Yeah,
I will
but
defend-
okay, talking about like
I will defend Buddha for Mary, because I have an interpretation of that song. I
Yeah.
think I haven't looked into this at all, and I could be wrong totally.
Yeah.
But I think that song is about the Virgin Mary, and she is speaking to the angel that came to see her, but it's from a
Yep.
different context, as if Mary was like, she's into astronauts. She's beyond the world that is the biblical sense, and so like. And like
Ancient
and, you know,
astronaut theorists.
yeah, and so it gets to that whole point where it's like, will you rape me? Yada yada. It's like, no, this angel just appeared before her, and it's like this whole thing of like, what if it was a little different? Like that could have just been a guy that's like,
it
I'm
sounds.
here to rape you.
It sounds
and, like-
almost exactly like the Bible. Damn, bro, did you read that?
It's almost because it is the Bible. Yeah.
And then
Oh,
I think Buddha for Mary is a play on words for beautiful Mary.
I
the
think it's a
boy's
stretch,
gotta-
but all right.
He's
It
got
sounds just like it. It's the same
It does.
Anyway,
Mary
yeah.
was
10 out
a
of 10.
special girl.
Anyway,
Had a thing
10
for
out of 10.
astronauts. Yep.
A very good
Did you know
record.
Mary was a holy girl?
Mary was a holy girl.
Until she wasn't. If you oh,
Damn! What the fuck?
Damn.
Oh shit!
anywho.
It's anyway.
So, what's the big church guy in Texas, Joel Osteen? Osteen?
Yeah, man.
That's
Oh,
him,
We're
yeah.
sponsored by him now. Thanks.
Oh
to him.
god.
Oh.
Joel Osteen and Manscaped.
Yes.
Oh god.
Does your balls feel itchy from all that praying?
All that praying you've been doing with your priest? A little itchy. No, I'm kidding.
A little
That's
too much.
a little
No,
too
bro,
itchy.
no, non-denominational. They don't believe in priests. They have pastors.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Do you know the difference? Do you?
A pastor can get married.
Oh, okay.
Priest
And
cannot.
divorced.
Yeah.
yeah, brother.
That was the
Fucking-
whole thing. Joel Osteen's. I think they're getting divorced.
Wait, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, there's a video of his
That's
wife
amazing.
cussing someone out on an airplane, and I don't think he wants that in his livelihood.
Well, that's a pretty
That's so fucking cool.
interesting reason for divorce.
have you seen the
Oh.
guy that's not Joel Osteen, but he's like, I need an airplane because when I'm in the sky, I'm closer to God, and you can't just
Uh-huh.
break out into prayer on the middle of a commercial airliner, so I had to buy my own plane. What?
Who?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Who is this?
I don't know. I don't know his name. I know he's another
older than Joel
megachurch.
Osteen, 'cause,
That is
right?
true.
He's older.
Yes. And his
guess-
argument for buying a private jet was that he's closer to God and can't break out into prayer on a commercial airliner.
Yeah, man. You
Guys,
gotta
we
get
need-
higher.
We need a private jet.
Can
because-
you take me higher?
Can
you know?
you take
No, no,
me?
no, no, no.
So I've seen Alter Bridge, but I haven't seen Creed. But does that count as me seeing Creed?
No. Man, I'll tell you what. I saw the craziest shit on Instagram the other day. It was a show of them playing a football game in 2001. I think they were in Texas because they got the blue star on the, and they're playing, you know, the "Can You Take Me Higher" song, and they're like people in fucking angel costumes being hoisted into the air, and I'm just like, God damn, that's like the most 2001 thing I've ever seen aside from 9/11. Like, God damn it, like that's crazy.
That's a good way to word it.
Wow.
Wow.
It took me a second to
that
process
says 2001.
It's like, how do you remember 2001? I know.
That's I'm
Fuck, that hurts.
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel
It does
beams.
not.
That is
do
a
you guys
fact.
have a memory of that day? Do you remember by any chance? No.
I have a memory of my mom, like,
I do.
5 years ago telling me that supposedly on that day we, like, drew artwork of the towers, like, in kindergarten because we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Wait, like
Oh my
by
God.
coincidence or like afterwards while you guys are just waiting around, you're like, yeah.
I don't know. I know what I was told.
Mhm.
Basing it off that, could be lying. I don't know. I have no
Tyler,
memory of it though. No.
What's your 9/11 story, Tyler? We're just gonna-
oh jeez. It was a toughie. No, I think I was just in 3rd grade.
Third
Um,
grade.
You were not in 3rd grade.
I was in
No, I was
kindergarten.
not. Shit.
Yeah.
I remember the teacher's name. I don't remember the grade.
Uh-huh.
It was Miss Henderson's class. But yeah, I just remember the announcements. You know, just like turn on the news and whatever. And that happened. Then I remember the next day, just like all of this explanation. And my uncle, like he lived in Manhattan at that point.
Oh God.
And he worked down near the towers, but he wasn't at work, wasn't there yet, something. So he was fine and all the rest, but no, I just remember the stories about the dust and all of that for days and days and days after. But no, I was in elementary school at some point.
Well, duh.
Well,
You were
Miss
definitely in
Henderson's
elementary
class.
school at some point.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks,
Well,
bud.
I know Craig didn't ask me.
You're trying to Fox News me.
Well, I mean,
Do Puerto Ricans?
William, do you have a great 9/11 memory?
and I laugh. Actually, no. The answer is no, not really.
Yes.
No, I
Oh
was-
yeah, man. We had a party. It was
was a great
great.
time,
There was
yeah.
nachos.
There was
Someone
pizza,
brought a dog.
soda.
It was great.
Okay, so I don't have a specific memory, but okay. So from elementary school throughout high school, so I've told you guys this, or maybe I've told Craig this, but
Yeah.
I went to school inside a military base. So none of us, well, the high school, it wasn't a military school, but it was inside
Yeah.
a military base. So 9/11 happens, and it's just a shit show. Like, it's like obviously for security reasons, they just close everything. They just close everything, and nobody comes in or out until they figure out what the fuck is going on. So I mean, I know this now in retrospect, but in the like, what I do remember, kind of, was just like the overall confusion. Cause like, maybe if I do remember, like teachers freaking out, I remember most of the kids, me included, just not knowing what the fuck was happening. So I just remember the confusion, and it was like they canceled school for the rest of the day, but because they weren't letting anybody in or out of the base, it was like we were out of school, but we were still in school. So it's just a lot of confusion. Just me being a little kid, like, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Interesting.
That's actually a very interesting 9/11 memory.
Yeah.
Being on a military base.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I like how we're
about you,
talking about
Craig?
this.
Do you have a favorite 9/11 memory?
All right.
One of your few.
So this is where I'm trying to get like my timeline set up, because there is a good couple year gap between a few of us here. Will, you're 24 or 25?
I'm 24. So yeah, when 9/11 happened, I was like 4. So again, it was just confusion. I only remember the confusion again.
Yeah. I was in first grade during 9/11, 7, and I remember very specifically. There were a couple of kids. I'd always had this thing where I was like genuinely terrified of like everybody older than me, like the older kid, because you had a lot to be afraid of 2 to 5th graders at, you know what I mean? Like a lot. But it was just one of those things where like I tried to steer clear of the older kids for a while. And I remember there were these 2 kids that were having an absolute fucking laughing, like uncontrollably at people freaking out over the situation.
Jeez.
Like, yeah, man. And I just like literally between that and then we had an early dismissal to go home that day. Those are my only 2 9/11 memories. It was just a couple of ignorant older kids and going home early. And getting home early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, brother. No.
What a
get
holiday.
Home, mom is crying in front of the TV. Dad's
You're
like,
like, oh yeah, mom's crying.
Yeah, I'm home early. Anyway, yep.
Uh-oh.
Are we alive?
Uh-oh.
I hope so.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. Oh,
I thought I almost. Yeah, no, I think it was the Skypers.
Damn.
oh, the Skype.
Did
the
Skype just break
Skypers.
down?
The Skypers.
A little bit.
Is Tyler
Or
alive?
maybe they just didn't like our conversation.
Tyler's alive.
Damn.
Guys, I think we're under attack.
Oh wait.
Oh.
Whoa.
We're under attack.
You can't talk about favorite 9/11 memories on the internet.
Oh, you know what?
I mean, not favorite. We're not saying it that way.
Wow.
I mean, between this and like our extensive conversation about gun control, and then just hating on the on the NRA, hey, I think.
Maybe they want to get block
is
us out
there
here.
like an NRA person in Skype right now? Are you listening to us? I don't know. So-
Hell yeah, brother, I am. I'm
it's-
here to make sure that we get all our guns.
It's
I mean-
it's our FBI agent is just sitting there with a Michael Jackson popcorn. You know what I mean? Just, he's just
Like
like,
he
damn, this is a
accidentally
good
says-
podcast. I have no idea how they haven't signed over to Spotify yet. Like shit.
And then Spotify's in a meeting like, we gotta offer them $1 million. They're like, they won't take that. They already said they won't take $1 million. $100 million. That's not enough.
It's not
Shit,
enough.
Call Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel
Joel says,
just to
I
narrate for
would
all the
love to
folks.
donate. I would love to give money, but I got this divorce. I'm about to lose half my money. God's got to have to bless me with something right now. I really don't know what though.
Oh.
And then he turns into Borat.
Beautiful.
That was Borat speaking tongues
Yeah.
from the movie Borat.
Borat from the movie Borat.
Oh.
Correct.
You mean Borat?
Oh.
From
No,
Borat.
Bruno. From Borat.
Borat.
The dictator
Will,
from Borat.
have you heard back from
Yes.
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 Okay. Tremendous. Go ahead and speak for him and behalf
so-
of his guest appearance.
Surprise! We're having our guest speaker, another guest speaker on our next episode, and he suggested an album that I'm pretty sure we all know and love very well. I'm just
Okay.
asking him which version of this record he would like for us to cover.
Okay.
Because it recently came out with a new mix.
Okay.
But my good friend Bennett suggested White Pony.
Oh,
Yes!
fuck yeah!
Woo! Oh my
No,
God!
All right, I'm already gonna speak
I
for
don't
him.
know.
We're doing the
Oh.
new one. We're doing the new one.
Yeah. We're gonna do the new one.
No,
for
we're
sure.
doing the new
We're
one.
doing the new
Yes.
one? Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
we're doing the new one.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yes.
want to listen to the old one again. The new
How,
Then
one.
listen-
how about
okay,
how about
okay,
how about this?
here's a
You listen to
requirement.
both. Just listen to
You
both.
have
It's
to
worth
listen
it.
to both. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to listen to both. It will change your life. This is a remaster beyond any remaster you've
Yeah.
ever heard ever made. In fact, I
Yeah.
texted Craig the day it came out and said, Craig, you have to listen to it. It's different. He was like, okay, sure. Text me an hour later and is like, this is like a whole new experience with this album.
Exactly.
Listen to both, but
Oh, man.
I don't.
You're done? Okay.
God, Deftones, life, bro.
There you go, bitch. Oh my God, dude, this is awesome, and this is a really interesting coincidence, and I'll repeat myself next episode. But like me and Bennett, like one of the very first conversations we ever had, like first of 3, I'll say, we talked about Deftones because he saw I had just bought Gore while I was in Boston, and he was like, "Oh, you listen to the Deftones?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude," and we talked a bit about it, so that was cool.
Got Gore right here, bro.
That's Ohms.
Oh
Nice.
wait,
Oh,
I have Koino Yorkin. But
So you
that's
don't
not-
have Gore.
I don't have Gore. No.
you fucking liar. You,
I have their beer.
oh,
I have their beer.
did you just fucking break
Yeah.
the records?
He just
No,
broke
dude,
the
no,
records.
they're not broken, bro. I did break a pedal though.
You know they can
didn't
still
break
break
anything.
even if they're sealed. It's still just vinyl, right? So
Nah, they're good. I checked them.
Okay.
They landed
Well-
like beautifully.
Sick.
I
Well, I'm very excited for next week now. I haven't said anything to Bennett since we ended B Word, so I'm really stoked to see him and talk with him.
yes, he will be here with us
Bennett.
next week
Bennett.
for episode
Bennett.
11.
Bitch shit.
Episode 11.
Nice.
Episode.
All right, boys. Well, you want to
11.
end this here? It looks like we're at about an hour and a half now.
Yup.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We have been the Mystical Hot Chocolate Talks. We are the Mystical Hot Chocolate Endeavors. Next time, I'm gonna learn how to do the intro right. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Wait, bye.
Bye.